Past participles. Past participles. The past participle is the verb form ending in ed, t, or n that can be used as the predicate verb if an auxiliary is present or an adjective part of the sentence. The past participle can also be used as two major parts of the sentence: the verb of the sentence if an auxiliary is present, or an adjective. The past participle forms are ed, t, or n. Let's take a moment and look at those forms. Rushed is the ed form, past tense, normal structure, easy to identify. The one that gets a little more complicated is when the t or the n is attached to the end of the word, forming the past participle. For example, caught with a T, or began with an N. The past participle, when used as an adjective, is diagrammed below the main sentence line on a line that drops down and curves to the right. The reason to teach this is that it helps students visually understand the difference between the main sentence structure and the adjective phrase form of participial phrases. So we've got Buffy found the couch abandoned on the beach. Abandoned on the beach is the past participial used in a participial phrase modifying the couch. When used as an adjective, the past participle is diagrammed below the main sentence line on a line that drops down and curves to the right. Once again, you're trying to get your students to somehow grasp the difference between the modifiers of a sentence, which are participles and adjectives, and the main sentence structure, so they don't get confused as sentences get more complicated. The Couchboard team, coached by Mick, learned various pyramids. In this structure, you've got the diagram below the main sentence line, and it's much easier for them to sort of distinguish between the main sentence structure and the adjective sentence structure. The Couchboard team, coached by Mick, learned various pyramids. Notice where the diagram of coached by Mick is located in the diagram. Twigs has made a huge sculpture forged from steel. Okay, we've got a past participial phrase. It modifies what kind of sculpture, and it is different from the past tense has made, because here you've got an auxiliary has and the past tense made. That's where it gets a little tricky, but your students can figure it out if they can diagram things. It makes it much easier for them to visualize. Carmen, driven by competition, has succeeded at all sports. Let's look at this sentence for a minute. Carmen has succeeded at all sports. Okay, we've got a past tense, the ed form of the verb with an auxiliary, has succeeded, used as the main sentence structure. We have driven by competition, the en form, which is the past participial phrase used in an adjective. The pond frozen in the snow becomes a great skating rink. Let's look at this structure because I think it's really important to teach your students as they're beginning to understand participial phrases that they're set off in commas. The pond, comma, frozen in the snow, comma, becomes a great skating rink. If you look at the main sentence structure, the pond becomes a great skating rink, it's easy for them to identify the difference between the main sentence and the adjective participial phrase modifier, frozen in the snow. Let's see how your students do on identifying the difference between past participial phrases and present participial phrases. In this case, we have the ing form of the verb, walking rapidly. We reached the house. Walking rapidly, we've got the present participial phrase used as an adjective. Skipping along the beach, Stace gathered seashells found at the surf's edge. Here we've got an interesting example because we've got both. We've got the ing form of the verb, which is the present participial participle, part of a participial phrase used as an adjective, and we have found at the surf's edge, which is a past participle used in a participial phrase as an adjective. Discovering our wrong turn, we completed the bike course navigating from the rear. In this case, we have two present participles used in adjective phrases, discovering our wrong turn and navigating from the rear. And we've got the past tense form ed in the main sentence structure. Doug, encouraged by his teammates, tried harder at his skiing tricks. Here we've got the past participle used in a participial phrase, and it's very easy to see that it is used as an adjective phrase set off by commas. Go to www.englishgrammarhelp.com for more English grammar lessons, free lesson plans, and English grammar programs for your students.